you can see my editor. Okay, this is the editor I have, and the font is not visible. I'll try to increase the font size. I'll make it 18. I'll make it 20. This font size is a little bigger. Okay, fine. So for example, we all know that something I have in a variable. So something I'm going to define A or B or whatever I'm going to define. Here is a problem statement, something like I want to find a square root of a given number. So that is the statement. A Python program to calculate the square root of it. Here, either I can define the number within the program itself. Okay, either within the program or I can input the number from the terminal. Okay, what is the square root? See, square root is nothing but I can write square root something like this. See, num, like if I write it as square root is equal to either num into num, either I can go with num into num, or I have an option num double star to the power of 0.5. Whatever the way I want, I can do it. I will end up with a square root of it. Okay. Now, I am trying to print it. If you look at the print, I have given, see, all are float with a 3 decimals. I am trying to get a 3 decimal output. That's the thing. Now, if I want to run this program, see this particular thing, I am saving it as square root sqroot.py. So that is the py, that is the Python program what I am trying to share, or I am trying to save. So I have given already, I stored a number as 8. So I will try to run this code. To run this code, what I will do, I will go to that particular folder, the terminal. Okay, so let me clear whatever is there. So everything I am trying to clear. Now, if I want to run this, this is Python 3. Okay, what is the file name I have given? sqroot.py. Okay, then if you press enter, see already I have given 8. Already it is there. I am getting the square root of 8 is 2.8. If you closely observe, I am rounding off to 3 decimals. So if I want to get this particular thing, how I am getting it actually, it is 0.3f. So it is f means float. So you can get it if I increase it to 4, it will be 4 decimals. If I increase it to 5, it will be 5 decimals. Okay. Instead of giving the number in the code in the program itself, I can input the number. A simple code. What it is actually, I am calling that as a num. See, look at this. I'm calling this as C. If you directly input a number within the program, automatically take as a float. Otherwise, I have to define it as a float. Okay, float input, they enter the given number, enter a number. Okay, so if I try to run the same code again, so Python 3 sqroot.py, enter, it lasts. Enter the number, the square root of, I want to find the square root of 16. So plus 16 and press enter. The square root of 16 is 4. Okay. If I want to run the code again and say for example, I want to find the square root of 64. So 8. So my code is working for, so any number I can input and find the square root of it. It's a very simple program. So what I want to show here actually, how we are going to print your output. So instead of 3, if I change it to 4, say for example, I'll change it to 4. Okay, here I'm going to change it to 2 decimals. So your num will be of 2 decimals, your num square root will be of 4 decimals. Okay, so now I will run the same code. Okay, I'll put 64. You can see that 64, you can see the output. So the difference between the previous output to this output, you can see. So my input 64 with the 3 decimals. Here I have reduced it to 2 decimals, but output as num square root, I round it up to 4 decimals. Earlier it was 3 decimals. So whenever you are writing a code, so this particular thing, so 0.2f or 0.3f or 0.4f, it clearly shows that what is the amount of decimals I need to do it. Okay. Now this is num is nothing but whatever the input number, and num square root is nothing but whatever the product you have done. So instead of this particular things, maybe I have another code. So let me show you another code. other simple code I will take. So most of us say for this will be something like a code which is very much useful for a school going student. We want a multiplication table. Fine, a multiplication table. So whatever I want. So something like I want a multiplication table of 8, okay, or 12, whatever I want. So what is it actually? I'm going to put it in a for loop. I'm going to put it in a for loop and try to do it actually. So for example, I'm trying to input. So let me put for an already I have an example. So input, let me put it as num is equal to 8. Okay, I'm going to save it. Now what does it do actually? For I in the range of 1 to 11. So I'm going to put it. First I'm going to print 8 actually. 8 into 1. I'm going to get 8. Then 8 into 2. I'm going to put 8 into 8. So 8 into that particular 2. So everything gets multiplied every time. 2, 3, 4, 5 goes from that particular thing until that particular. So now if I try to run the code, say for example, what is the thing I have given? Multiplication table, mult underscore table dot py. I will try to run this code actually. Okay. MU, the Python 3. Okay. MULT underscore table dot py. Now if I run it actually, you can see that I got a multiplication table. 8 into 1, 8, 8 into 2, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. So I got the table 8. So why? When I run this code actually, I have given the input as 8 actually. So instead of giving this 8 as an input within the code, I can input it from the terminal. Okay. So one thing you have to be very careful. In the previous problem, we took it as a float. Here, all the multiplication table, they are all integers. So now, what number I am going to input actually? See here, already in the program it was 8 actually. So display the multiplication table of 10 or 20 or 30, whatever you want. So it's going to iterate for 10 times. It's going to iterate for 10 times. When say here the 11th time it comes out. So I'm going to put it in a for loop. I'm going to put it in a for loop and say simple, one simple command. I'm trying to get the multiplication table display. So let us look at it. So here, okay, I will try to run this code, Python 3 mult underscore table dot py. So let me get a table of 9. Okay, 9, enter. See, automatically it will come 9 into 9 into 2, 18, 27, 36. Okay, for example, I will run the code. Say I want to get the table for 14. So any number I want. Say for example, I will run this code. Say I want to get the table for 17. See, I got a multiplication table. So it's a simple code I can write. See, I didn't do any complication. The only thing is effective use of your for loop. Okay, effective use of for loop from 1 to, so what is the take actually? I'm going to iterate for 10 times from I is equal to 1 to 10. For 11, when the for loop is 11, it comes out. So that's why I'm going to use this effective use of the for loop and trying to build a simple multiplication table. Okay, now, so I have one more program. What is it actually? So we have seen the conditional statement. What is it actually? If statement, if else if statement, or suppose if I input an invalid input. Okay, if I have an invalid input, it should show that. Okay, now what is this program? This program is to find the maximum or minimum. Okay, the code is to find the maximum or minimum. Okay, the maximum or minimum. Which is the largest number, which is the smallest. I am going to put it. So I am going to solve it as small. Okay, I am going to save it as small. Let's run this code. Okay, I'll run this code. Clear. Okay. Python 3 small dot py. If I run it, enter the number. Let me enter the number as some 45. Okay, let me enter one more number as some 36. Okay, and we enter one more number as maybe 78. So I will keep entering this number. Okay, I keep entering this number till I enter done. Okay, that means I will be entering this number. Say for example, 100, 120, say 47. Then once I type done, it gives. So I am done with entering the number. So now if you compare 45, 36, 78, 100, 120, which is the least actually? 36 is the least. Which is the biggest one? It is the 120. So the code is something like this. See, the code is something like this. The code
Sir,
is,
can you while true statement?
yeah. See,
Sir,
while
how
true
does it
means,
work, sir?
no, this see, what is while statement? While statement will check for true or false. See, while it is true, it will check for this all the conditions. If it is false, it will come out. See, why this try and except actually? See, try and except will is used to check for your input. A valid input is there or not. If it is a valid input is there, it will go through this particular thing. If it is an invalid input, it will give an exceptional error. I'll show that. Say for example, the same code I will run. Okay. Now I will give only three numbers I will take. Some 20, 25 and 30. Then I am going to put, see, I'm going to invalid input I'm going to put 30. I'm going to input. Okay, it's an invalid input. It's an invalid input. So what does it tell actually? It tells, see, the moment I tell it's to this particular thing, it will come to this. So value error. Your input is an invalid input. It has to check if you don't use this try and except this even if I input an invalid number, it keeps continuing if I don't use this except try and except option. Okay. Now say 30. So then it lasts for say 45. Okay, the moment if I tell done, so minimum is there is an invalid input. So for this condition, so maximum is 45. So minimum it should have been 20, but I had given invalid input. It was unable to do that. I'll end up with an error actually. So whenever you have an invalid input, I can't accept the maximum and minimum. I can't accept a maximum and minimum. So ensure that you are inputting the correct numbers. So invalid input means what should I do? I should be able to run the code again. I should be able to run the code again. Say for example, I have three numbers, 10.
If and else if statement of largest and smallest should be different. It shouldn't be
Which
an
one?
if statement or else if statement.
No. It should be an else if statement only. Else if only. See what it will do. No, it will take the num. So maybe integer of that particular number. It will check for that. Largest is none or largest is less than num. Or if else if smallest is none or smallest is greater than num, then it will take it as smallest is equal to num or smallest is equal to num. So it will check for, see, what it will do is actually it will go through this loop. It will go through this particular loop, then try to check it. See, first it will check for the input number. See, what does this particular code will do? It will check for the number first. Okay, I want to input a number. All the inputs are stored in some place actually. It's going to assign some RAM number. So what I told, some number like 9000 to 246 or something like that, 246, 247 like that, it's going to store. So I'm going to input 10 numbers. Okay, so the moment if I type done, what's going to do? It's going to break. That means it will come over here and it will try to check all those things. So whatever the input I'm trying to do, all the input it's checking. So the moment if I tell done, it will come out and the maximum is displayed and minimum is displayed. So the smallest and your largest is displayed. Okay, that's what it's going to tell. Okay, that's what it's going to tell. So this code is so simple. So it will take the n numbers, it will check for the largest, it will check for the smallest. Suppose if input is wrong, it will give an error. So then your maximum minimum will definitely, one of the thing will be an error. That's what this will do. Okay, fine. So let me, yeah. Suppose I have a complex number. So I have a complex number. So I may have to find the square root of that particular number. So I have to use the square root of it, that particular. So what we have to do actually, so here we are going to use what is called as square root as one of the inbuilt function. Okay. So I can input either your complex number. So here one particular thing is we have to import is actually there is something called as complex math module. So whenever you are doing, say for example, as we proceed, say for example, I want to plot something. So matplotlib has to be imported. So in the similar fashion, whenever I'm trying to go and do some kind of a complex mathematical operations, so I have to import CMath. So I will enter the complex number. So enter the complex number. So what is this complex number? It should have a real part and it should have a imaginary part. So now I will take that number, square root of it, I am going to output it. So now if I try to run this, okay, try to run this code, that is Python 3 sqrotconplx complex.py. So enter the complex number. So there should be a real part, that is 2 plus, so let it be some 8j or something. I'm going to give a complex, that is the imaginary part. So now the square root of 2 plus 8j is actually 2.263 plus 1.767j. Okay. Now, so this is the square root of the complex number. So I do have a real part and I do have a imaginary part. I'm trying to use the square root inbuilt function. Even in the previous thing, so I have this particular thing. I could have used, say for example, here also I could have used, say for example, num underscore sqrt is equal to sqrt of num. I could have used this. I could have used this also. I would have ended up with the same output. Either use the inbuilt square root function. So in that case, I need to, so this particular thing, I can use this particular square root as an inbuilt function, or I can use this part. So here, but in case of a complex, so I have to multiply the real part, then I have to multiply the imaginary part. So square root of that particular thing, which so I'm going to use a simple inbuilt function. I'm trying to calculate it. So here also what I'm trying to do actually, I'm trying to relate it to, see the first part is 0.3, that is 0.3 means 3 decimals. The second part 3 decimals. So your number, the real part and the square, your imaginary part, I'm trying to get it. That's all. Okay. Now, so sometimes we may be having the quadratic equation. So what is the quadratic equation? Ax square plus bx plus c. So I may have to find the solution for it. The solution will be either it can be real or it can be imaginary. So when I try to define this equation ax square plus bx plus c, I have to define the constants a, b and c. So for different values of constants, your values of roots also are going to change. Okay. Now, what is how we are going to find it actually? Say for example, I want to find out what is the first root. It is actually minus b square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. If one will be one root. The second root will be minus b. So one will be plus, other one will be minus. So minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2. So one will be minus minus, other will be minus plus. So these are called as two solutions or roots. Two solutions, or we call this as roots of the equation. Okay. Now, so what will the square root of b square minus 4ac? Either you can put that as some kind of thing, or you can separate calculate it and you can do it. So now, if I want to, if you want to get the solution for it, I need to input these values of a, b and c. Either you can give the values of a, b and c within your program, or you can input from outside. So here also I am going to see why this particular CMath is imported here, because I may end up with sometimes your maybe complex output also I may get it. So your solution may itself be a complex. So let me run this code actually. So it is quadratic.py. So if I try to run this, to clear, Python 3 UADRATIC dot py, the type of quadratic dot py. See this, what I am getting for the values of a is equal to 1, 5, 6. My output is, I have one real root, that is minus 3 plus 0j, and I have another imaginary root minus 2 plus 0j. So it is minus 3 and 2 are the roots of the equation. Okay, so minus 3 and 2 are the roots of the equation for that particular. Or if I want to take it as an input from the terminal, what I'm going to do, I'm going to comment this A, B, and C. I'm going to comment over here. Then I'll open this to take the input from the terminal or user. So B and C. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this code. Okay. If I try to run, enter the value of A, let me input as 2. Enter the value of B, let me put it as 7. So enter the input or enter the value of C. If I input as 9, so I'm going to get a complex output. The solution itself is complex. So here, I see here what has happened is actually I have not restricted the output actually. I could have got the restriction of the output as maybe restricted to 0.3 or 0.4. Here I have not put actually, it will go up to, so I'm getting an output that is bigger. Okay, you can see this particular thing. Suppose if I enter something else, say A is equal to some 4, so 6 and 8, I'll end up with 1 second. So for different values of A, B, and C, I'll be getting different output. So what I'm trying to solve the quadratic equation. I'm trying to put it. So here, the simple thing I'm putting is a format. That's it. A simple format solution 1 and solution, that is these two equations I'm trying to put without actually getting. So what I could have done is actually the 0 and 1 is there. No, there I could have asked the output in what format I want. I could have forced it actually. Okay, fine. So I have one more problem, one more Python code, a simple code to find the least common multiple, that is LCM of any two given numbers. Okay, so what does it do actually? Say for example, I'm going to give some number, so some 24 or 54, whatever I have this input. So I'm trying to use a function. So this is the function what I have. So what is this function? The function I'm going to say, I'm trying to call this as a function, def, that is def compute LCM. I have these variables 2, x and y. X and y are the two variables which I have to input. Okay. Now, what does it do? First, actually, it will try to take the greater number. So first I have to choose the greater number. So what is going to do actually? If x is greater than y, then it takes the greater number as x. If this statement is false, then the greater number automatically it is y. It's something like I'm going to input 54 and 24. Then 54 is greater than 24. So the greater number is 54 and the least number is 24. Suppose if my input is something like 24 and 54, what does it do actually? If 24 is greater than 54, it is false. So automatically it takes the greater value as y. So automatically 54 becomes a greater number and 24 becomes a smaller number. So this code should work in such a way, that if else statement should work in such a way to pick the greater number or bigger number and smaller number. So instead of greater, I can put a bigger or smaller, whatever you want, I can do it. So then here I am trying to find the LCM. So here LCM is nothing but what is it actually? It's the greater of that. So what I am going to do actually, I am trying to show. So greater, what is this code like percentage if it is equal to 0 or greater number percent. So I am trying to find the LCM of this particular, which is the greater number. Then I'm trying to put it in this particular loop actually. I'm trying to put in the loop and I'm going to take the LCM of it, take the LCM as a return in the, or it is going to calculate the least common multiple from this code. So if I want to run this code, I need to enter these two numbers. Two numbers I want to enter. So if I enter the two numbers, the function compute underscore LCM is called and it's going to take the value and it is going to return, and I'm going to get the display of it. So display, you can see compute LCM of num1, 2. So what should be my input? I should be able to input num1 and 2. If I input, it goes here as xy and it does all these things and it's going to return the value of LCM. Okay, now let's try to run this code. Clear LCM, so Python 3 LCM.py. Enter the first number. Let me put it as some 100. So the second number as 200. So it is a bigger number is your LCM, least common multiple. Okay, so instead of that, let me put 24 and second number as 12. See, your LCM is 24. So the code is working fine. So I can input whatever the number I want. Say for example 2 and 3. So the LCM is 3 into 2, 6. So the code gives this particular function calculates the least common multiple. Okay, this code calculates the least common multiple. Code calculates this particular function. This is a function. It calculates the least common multiple, and wherever I want I can catch. So this is where I'm in the code in the Python code. I'm trying to calculate the LCM by calling this compute underscore LCM as a function and inputting the two numbers num1 and num2. Okay, fine. So I have one more Python code, which is nothing but a simple calculator. It's a simple calculator. See, what does it do? Say, for example, I want to enter some two numbers. So whether you want to add it, subtract it, multiply it, or divide it. So what I want to show here actually, I want to show you if, else if, and you have to see if all those things are correct. Actually, any one of the things, it has to come out. If suppose any of the input is wrong, it has to go and it has to give as an invalid input. Okay. Now I have four choices, either 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is addition, 2 is subtraction, 3 is multiplication, 4 is division. Okay. Now to do this operation, what I'm trying to do, I should have 4 different functions. So I should have 4 different functions. So add means add. If I try to call the function add, it is going to add whatever the numbers I'm going to give. So if I want to subtract, so I should be able to subtract one minus other. So if I want to multiply, so I should be able to call the two numbers. So I have not see this particular code actually. So ensuring, so you will end up with a minus. Suppose if x minus y, if x is smaller compared to y, I will end up with a negative number. Okay, here if x is smaller than y, you will end up with a decimal, or if x is bigger than this your y, I will end up with some kind of a number. So for each thing actually I am trying to call the functions based on your input 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is nothing but is a code to ensure this works as a some kind of a calculator. It's a simple calculator. What I have done. It's a simple calculator. Let me run this code. Okay, so clear. Okay. Python 3 calculator.py. Okay, it will ask what operation you want to do. Say, let me try. I want to do an operation of division. So let me take 4. So I enter the first number. So first number, let it be 25. Second number, let it be 100. So what does it do? 25 by 100 is 0.25. So if I try to run the code, let me take it as addition. Okay, let the first number be 25 plus second number be 100. So it's going to give 25 plus 100 is 125. Let me clear the code again. Let me try to run this code again. So I want to do subtraction. So I will choice, it is 2. So the first number is 25, second number is 100, 25 minus 100, it is minus 75. Okay, now same code I will run with a subtraction. The first number is 100, second number is 25, I am getting positive 75. So it's a simple calculator I can do. Either addition, subtraction, so multiplication. Let us do the code for the multiplication. So 25, so it is 3. Okay, so 2500, it is 2500. So I will use the wrong entry, whether it works or not. Well, let me check. I'm going to run this code. So I want to go for maybe multiplication. I will enter something like 40. See, it has given an output. It has given an output with something like it is actually it's a wrong input. Okay, it has come out actually because it's a floating point error. It's a floating error. It's an invalid. I should have entered something else. Okay, let me enter this code. So it is 3. Let me enter some. Let me enter some FORTY. Okay, it is something. It's giving an error. Actually, it is a string error. It's a float error. It's giving. So it should have been. It should have checked for this actually. I should have used as else statement. I should have used the try statement. I should have used that, and I should have got the invalid output. That is that particular thing. Then it should have given the invalid input, just like what we saw here. Where is it? Yeah, this one. I should have used this one. So value error. If I had used them, then this would have come. So value error. If I use actually, yeah. I should have used try and except value error. Then if I suppose if my input itself is wrong, I would have got the invalid input error. So what is it actually I am trying to do? Actually, I am trying to input instead of a number, I am trying to give a string. So what does it say? For example, if I input 40, it's a string. FORTY is a string actually. So your Python will read that as a string and it has to give an error. So the Python code what I have written, I should have used if else is there, it will come out. It has to give an input. So I should have do some modification here. Okay, I should have used something over here. Try for all these things. Okay, then I should have used this particular thing. What is it? So I should have used the except. I should have used the except value error because I'm trying to call this value error for any wrong input and print that it is an invalid input. Okay, these are some of the example codes I have to show you. Yes, I have one more code. I think, yeah, marks is also there. So what is this actually? I'm going to input something and it will check for what is the what is the score. If the score is more than a particular number, it is going to give A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade, or whatever it may be. Okay, so whatever the marks I'm going to give. So based upon your marks, it's going to give the grade. So if the number is greater than that, then it's going to give. So instead of this particular thing, I could have given it as 90, 80, 70, 60, and whatever maybe less than 60, whatever I can give the grade. Or 50, one more thing I can add 50, less than 50, I can give one more grade. So S grade, A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade, E grade, and F grade. If the number is greater than the particular thing, it has to go, it has to show that it has out of range. Some of the codes I have written. I think some of the codes which I have written long back. So some are running in Python 2 and some are running in Python 3. So these are some of the codes. So tomorrow we'll try to see some codes where I will try to read the data from particular text file. Okay, I'll try to read the data from the text file and try to see. We did some kind of a sorting kind of a thing. What is it actually? Something like I want to check for the email ID